We got it.
It's official.
It's official. And like, I mean, we were talking, Ellen and Tony, you would absolutely love to spend those 10 hours with Marty, because his stories are like that one with his friend with MS and going into remission for 50 years and meeting Dr. Shackley. And so he's been in Shackley for a very, very long time. And I just have been really privileged to be able to work with him and gain his wisdom and insight. And yeah, you would love it. So I'm really glad that you are here tonight and you get to hear a little bit from him, and he is going to guide us through this. It is it is like an overview that's quick. If there's any nuggets that kind of hit you, just grab those and we can talk about them later, and you'll hear that. But Marty is a true gift to me in my life, and I'm so blessed. It's fun doing these, because it's amazing just the blessings of people that God puts in your life. And I consider you, Ellen and Tony, as a part of that as well. So, all right, Marty, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Do you have a paper in front of it? Do you want that paper?
Sharon's amazing. I thank you, Sharon, for that. It's ditto back at you. We appreciate you as well. So it's wonderful. So you guys being on here to support Sharon, this is very cool. That's why I'm here to support her, because we want to help as many people as we can. So one of the things we get to do that I love to do is I love to talk about our hosts and that a little bit. And I don't know, you sounds like you got a few nuggets in there that maybe I don't know about. So maybe if you want to share them, that'd be cool. But I think what we'll do is we'll walk through these pictures here. The first one in the upper left-hand corner, you can see that Sharon has a love and devotion here that she exudes in this picture, which says, "Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength." Isaiah 40:31. I think that, that's the heart of everything. It's really powerful. I love that about Sharon, that she's engaged in that. That's cool. The picture below that, Sharon shares this vision of why for what she does. And I think this is really cool. Another special pick of the mission and journey. I love this one. And if we go to the center now, we see Sharon and her family. She has an amazing, wonderful family, great people. And I don't know all of them personally, but I know a few of them, and everyone that I know I love. I mean, how can you not? They're just great. They're like her. They're wonderful. So very cool about that. Just part of the Shackley culture that we have. 50 years, I have a lot of families like this, and they're family. That's what we call them. The next picture on the right is very cool, because here we have a couple things about Sharon you might not know. Sharon, why don't you share a little bit about this picture, because you can say it best.
I would love to. So those two pictures with my kids and the little African kids, I grew up in Africa, and my heart is definitely there. That was a trip that we took back in 2013. And then looking on down, I love speaking and teaching. And that one, I know, Tony, you would probably be familiar with this one, the Living Hope Women's Conference that I did at church. That's where that one was. And then I am a group exercise instructor. I have been for 20 years. God's kind of moving me out of that, but it's just another aspect of the health and the teaching and the fun. So that picture is a Zumba picture from one of my classes. And yeah, just a couple fun things.
Very, very cool. Thank you. That's awesome. I love that. The picture on the bottom right is Sharon's part of a Shackley group that's in our organization. And that's how we came to know each other, and their family too. I love each and every one of them. They're amazing people. And what an amazing benefit of the Shackley culture to be associated with like-minded people. We're going to talk a little bit about the needs that we serve in Shackley today. So I hope you capture some of this understanding. And we don't know exactly what maybe you're looking for, but we're hoping that you can discover new possibilities for yourself. And there's ways that you can live life. And of course, our goal is to help you live it with energy and impact yourself as well as others. Maybe you have an interest in sustaining healthy planet, and that's important to your conscience. Or maybe helping renew your community or being part of that well-being in that. Maybe it's helping others, to live a more vibrant life. We know Sharon, that's part of her whole thing. And a lot of the people in Shackley are the same way, right, Sharon?
Absolutely, 100%.
So now there's things in our lives that impact our goals, our health goals. The three biggest things here, these are the typical things that people have talked about. And if we go through each one of those, feeling toxic, internally, externally, and the word healthy living, how do you do that? What are our options? How do you balance that around busy lifestyle? And what's important, all these things, including weight management, are a very important component to many, many health issues that we experience throughout our lives and those that we know. So then there's fitness recovery. This is critical. This is certainly a most important thing in our life. Our body was designed for fitness and for famine. So we have to nurture and take care of those things. And that's part of where nutrition comes in. But we live through life with nutritional imbalances because we don't get everything we need in our diet and our regime. So if you look across the pictures at the bottom, you can see that the organs each have sources of nutrition in there through food sources, brain health, heart health, lung health, reproductive health. These things are all impacted by our diet and nutrition, and they're extremely important components to healthy living in that. So now I don't know what one or two or three of those things might stand out for you, but maybe somebody that could benefit from learning about this. But that would be an appropriate time to get with Sharon and just chat about that and in a follow-up call. If any of these apply to you, I believe Shaklee has a solution. Okay, and that comes from 50 years of experience, not just talking about it. It's important to hi Ada, glad you're here. So, anyway, it all started with this young man named Dr. Forrest C. Shaklee, and we're going to try to give you a feeling for the Shaklee culture and why we're so passionate about it. And it all started with him back in the late 1800s, and he was born with a devastating, debilitating disease that was terminal. And his mom was told to take him to the Midwest, feed him from the croplands. She created her own herb garden, and he regained his health. And through that life course, he went in and chose a path to pursue where he could benefit and help other people, rather than trying to cure it after the fact, like the medical community was just evolving to do. He wanted to help people, but he incurred another devastating, killing disease, cancer. And he got it from radiation when it was just developed, and it got in his shoulder and it got in his hip. And the doctor says, we're going to have to amputate the shoulder. He says, well, what are you going to do about the hip? And they said, well, I don't know if we can even stop it if we take it off. He says, well, I'll just go back to nature. And so he took a year off. He went back and he used what his mother gave him all throughout the croplands. He really studied nature and he regained his health. He lived into his mid-90s.
More than 100 years ago,
So I'm jumping ahead of myself here. I apologize, but I want to give you a little video of Dr. Shaklee. It's great to hear, and it's going to be narrated by our owner, Roger Barnett. So here we go.
More than 100 years ago, Dr. Shaklee invented the multivitamin in the United States. And in doing so, he pioneered the nutritional supplement industry. He was often heard to say that the best way to predict the future is to create it. Speaking of the future, it's in our DNA as a company to always be looking towards tomorrow, which is why our amazing Shaklee scientists don't just try to predict the future, they view it as their mission to create the future of nutrition and the future of well-being.
So, excuse me, why is it going the wrong way? All right, technology, what did we talk about that?
More than 100.
All right, so there's a mission, and Shaklee's on a mission. As I said, Dr. Shaklee wants not to fix the problem. He doesn't want to deal with sick care. He wants to help us have well care, and that's part of the mission and why we're part of that. And we hope, what you gain from here, you might want to join us in this and help other people. So Shaklee participates in 5 distinct billion-dollar categories, of which our 380 products spanned over. And Roger, when he spent 5 years and $20 million looking for the perfect company where he could do well and do good, is a businessman, multi-billionaire. He always looks for companies that would have an impact in at least one major trend. But when he found Shaklee, he found that we had a leadership in 5 of these trends in that. And that's one of the reasons he wanted to own Shaklee and be part of that. And what's really interesting about this is that this chart really means that Shaklee has a solution for almost every life stage, whether it's children to grandparents, everywhere between active and inactive. And again, every life stage, very, very important component to the stability of Shaklee. Now, the first category we're going to talk about is healthy nutrition. No matter what someone's life stage might be, as I just mentioned, Shaklee goes beyond organic. And how do we understand that? Well, organic doesn't mean pure and clean and bioavailable. Okay, that takes science, listening to nature, using it. And this goes where I talked to Ellen and I said, well, it's the unknowns that are more important than the knowns, okay? And that was Dr. Shaklee's understanding of nature. So this is really foundational. No matter what someone's life stage might be, it's simple to make healthy happen with the Shaklee nutrition. And simple's good, right? So as an example here, in today's world, we're experiencing the challenge against the immune system just being devastated. And the problems with people's health has been immune related. And Roger in his infinite wisdom charged the scientific staff to take up our knowledge and put it together. And they came up with a product called Triple Defense. And this Triple Defense boosts the immune system, supporting it. It actually helps boost the natural killer cell activity, and it helps increase the natural immune cell count. Now, what's important about this is that Shaklee's always in the forefront, but it's there for us when we need it. And as an example, Shaklee went out and they developed a vegan kosher omega-3, not sourced from fish. So many people have challenges with fish and that. And so he went out, we need our omegas, and he found a way to get it not from animal sources, which is huge. Very, very cool. An innovation side of Shaklee. And just released in August, Shaklee made another innovative advancement in the art of nutrition with collagen. Now, collagen's been around, it's out there, but nobody in the world has collagen with all 9 amino acids simultaneously available that gets to the cellular level. And that's the key where health actually begins to really become optimal and different from everything else out there. So this is revolutionary. And in addition, just going to what took place just at our conference here in September, here's some more advancements in nutrition Shaklee made. On the left, you can see people are looking for energy. We just didn't want to stimulate energy. Coffee stimulates energy, but we needed to have a sustained energy along with boosting that energy. Here we have 2 flavorful products that do that. Now, people also in today's world have a problem maybe falling asleep and then staying asleep. Well, there's a product that came up called Dream Serene. The other thing is that people don't know, they walk up and down the aisles, what do I get? What do I start with? And Shaklee Roger pioneered and had a science pioneer and algorithm advancement. Nobody has this in the world. It's patented, we own it. And here you can go in and take an assessment. It'll give you an idea where your shortcomings are nutritionally. You can even get it personalized for a 30-day supply. Huge. But to take it beyond that, our kids need nutrition too. But there's all kinds of junk out there with coloring agents and contaminants and fillers in it, not with Shaklee. Here you have the 4 gummy nutrients that Shaklee delivers, and the kids can have fun. They can personalize it with their name, even select their own icon. And I'll tell you, the problem is that the kids want it every minute. So you have to keep away from it. So anyway, Shaklee's always in the forefront, and this is part of being neat about being part of this company. Now, where do you start? Well, nutrition really gives way to many of the things we talked about, but one of the most important things in our life is healthy weight. Now, when I consulted for physicians in doctor's office for decades, the number one problem that they had a 80% correlation to weight, contributory to all the major diseases that came across the board. So Shaklee spent years developing a weight management program, and the whole goal is you don't want to lose your lean muscle. There's nothing out there in the world where you lose weight that you don't lose lean muscle. In the clinicals with the weight management program, 100% of the people lost 0 lean muscle. And a 5-year follow-up, they had an average increase of 4%. But you start at the foundation, balancing the chemistry. This is where I started 50 years ago. This is the foundation that was started with Dr. Shackley back in 1915. And it begins with what we termed, and Roger and his infinite wisdom and science team put together in a package, easy to take, simple and easy, a strip and a shake, okay? And you can have it on a daily basis. Now, he also knows that health begins in the colon. Okay, the average American has 15 to 30 pounds of contaminated waste in their colon. Well, you have to absorb the nutrients through the colon wall to get to the blood, to get to the cells. And if it's impacted, the colon's impacted, that inhibits the ability to have healthy optimal life. Now, so here Shackley has given people in this Prove It Challenge Pack a free cleanse that they can jumpstart their program. They can either do it as a regime before they start their nutrition for 5 to 7 days, or they can incorporate it if their lifestyle demands that right into the program. And it's going to go work on that colon and balance the health of that colon and get it good. But going forward, we need to have nutrition that's going to support our healthy longevity. Who wants to get old and be decrepit and mindless? We want to have fully functional all the way to the last day, right? So here we have a program that's all together for people, simple, easy to be able to select, to have that healthy longevity, and also to get to the healthy weight and balance in our bodies. Now I'm 75, I'm 50 years without an antibiotic or medication. My wife's with me 40, she's had 0, my 32-year-old son's not having. I mean, this is the gift that we're able to give forward with people because of what the Shackley philosophy. Must benefit a cell, can't harm a cell, must be in harmony with nature, can't hurt the environment. Huge difference from anything else that's out there. So if we look at this Prove It Challenge program, you see the cleanse boxes with the green bubbles on it. Okay, that's free. And the purple bubbles or the red bubbles, whatever they are, that's for ones with iron. And if you want one without iron, it comes with blue bubbles. And then here's your shake. And this is a replacement meal. This is 30 meals in here for less than what's going to cost you for a bagel and a cup of coffee every day. So it's very reasonable. It's not out of balance in that, and it's going to balance the chemistry in the body. This is the perfect place for people to begin their health journey. So as we look at this together with the Vitalizer strip, this in the box, in the bubbles there, the purple bubbles, is a strip. And you got one for each day. And it's got 5 supplements in there. And then you mix up your shake and you take that and boom, you're good to go. But now here's the key here. You got the internal reset going with the cleanse and the nutrition, but you're going to get some guidelines with that healthy cleanse pack that's going to help you with prepping foods, going to deal with busy lifestyle. It's going to help with eating habits, going to help with shopping habits, and help with sleep habits. All the things that we need to work towards that optimal health is in the Prove It pack. Now, here's an example, young man, 71 years old. Now I know it's difficult to lose weight, especially at my age, especially the testosterone goes down in that, and I can't run because of knee problems and all that thing from years of running. I mean, we end up with these challenges we had. But here's a young man, look at this. Girls, you can't take this guy home. You got to help the guy at home in order to get to look like this. But here's where the nutrition comes in. He lost 12 pounds. That's hard to do at that age, but he lost 0 lean muscle. Very, very important. And that's one of the gifts that we give with the Shackley thing. Now, the second thing category is healthy beauty. People wake up in the morning, first thing they do, they look in the mirror, they print themselves to get ready for the day because they want to look good. Okay, but feeling good is on the other side, but you have to look good on the outside. Now, this goes all the way back before the Egyptians of the desire to have this. And Roger and his infinite wisdom wanted more. Now, they spent $8 million in 10 years developing the finest skincare line in the world that every major skincare company was trying to buy from us, and they couldn't get it. But that wasn't good enough. Shackley went on and he had to make it better. So in this new line called Youth, in the clinicals, 100% of the people had an improvement in the measurable improvement in the youth of their skin. But more importantly, 2/3 of that group actually had a movement into a younger decade, measurable. This is huge. We all want to look better, younger, longer, right? So it's important. Now, for me as a guy, I use this stuff. It's said for women, but this is as important for guys as it is for ladies too, because, and key for me is simplicity. Now, we cleanse our face. A lot of guys don't do the second, third, and fourth part, and they're missing out because it's simple, easy. I can do it in about 2.5 minutes. It's real quick, but you need to tone the skin to get rid of the dead stuff that you sloughed off from the cleanse, and then you need to work on the fine lines and the wrinkles. That's where the activating system comes in, step 3. In the 4th step, we have to moisturize in order to retain the youth in our skin, and we do it in the morning, we do it in the evening. Very critical, very easy, very simple. But does it work? Here's an example of a 20-something-year-old, and you wouldn't think that they would have skin improvement. Here, look at this lady on the left here, in her forehead, below her eyes, on her cheeks and that, and you can see the changes just in 60 days in this young girl. Then we go to somebody in their mid-60s. Here's a young lady. Look at her neck and around her mouth, below her eyes, on her forehead. Look to the right, 60 days, it works. This product works, and it's inexpensive. Now, the other thing here is that Roger didn't want any chemicals. So there's 2,500 plus known chemicals in our products, okay, across the nation you buy at the grocery store. Roger didn't want any of those, so it's not in the skincare. If you look at the demands of banning of these contaminants, Europe and Malaysia together come up to maybe where Shaklee's at. Then Japan is less, but look at the US. Only 11 do they ban. No wonder we have skin cancers, all kinds of health problems going on in Asia. In fact, one lady wrote a book that said that 70% of the ailments, diseases, and death caused in males or females and children in the home had a direct correlation to household products, including skincare products. Now, here's a young man. I don't think he's cleaning that kitchen. I think he's showing off. But, and if you can get your son to do that, I know my son didn't do that until he got married, but it took a while. And he did it without money. I mean, I had to pay him to do it before, but anyway. So the Shaklee was green before it was green. I mean, Dr. Shaklee even coined the word biodegradable. NASA, the Pentagon, the Biosphere, the Cousteau Society, the Appalachian Mountain Society. I mean, these people buy Shaklee. Shaklee doesn't give it to them because it's the only product out there that does the job. In fact, every time those Apollo capsules go up in the air and that, they're cleansed with Shaklee cleaners and that. Very, very important. Turns to nature very rapidly in less than a week, very quick. But we don't want any of those toxins in there. Again, they can impact our health, but we ignore those. You go up and down the aisle in the grocery store, you smell these fragrances in the cleaning aisle, and we assume that these products are safe because they're on the shelf, okay? But they're in there to cover up a lot of the outgases from these chemicals. Now, here's an example. Here's a general daily household product that's used, and look at this child's writing. This is in a classroom where a janitor opened up this daily household product. And look what happened in the middle of the writing, what happened to that kid's brain function and how it damaged it. I mean, this is what's going in our health. So we need to have these things out of our home, and you can do it inexpensively and very quickly, very efficiently. And Roger's wife, amazing as she was, she put this all in a box. Now, if we look at value, here we have a product, Basic H on the left. That's what they use in the Apollo capsules. 1 pint of that will make 5,824 16-ounce bottles of Windex. Now, if you go to Amazon, try to price Windex, you're about $284. It's probably higher now with the shipping costs. But anyway, that's over $17,000 in savings just in that one product. So Shaklee's not going to cost money. It's going to save you money. But you also become part of the solution automatically. Look at that. That little box stops 108 pounds of contaminants going into our landfills. It's neat to be part of that thing. We want to be an environmentally clean, balanced country. Here we are. This is one way to do it really quick. Now, another way, sports nutrition. This is the 4th category. The body's designed, as I said, for physical fitness and for famine. Well, physical fitness requires and utilizes nutrients. Those nutrients are important for performance, endurance, mental acuity, and decreasing our risk of injury. All these products here that Shaklee has, they pioneered the wellness industry back with Special Olympics way back in the early 90s. And with all this new stuff coming on, about 10 years ago, Shaklee went back and they looked at our products to analyze it against what was out there. And the only thing that they changed was the packaging. In other words, the laws of nature have stood the course of time, very critical. And we use and need these products in our daily activities. I mean, if you mow the lawn or paint the house or whatever you do, you're utilizing the nutrients that these things supply that we need to have daily. Now, we need to energize, stay energized, hydrate, build, recover. All these things play a role in our performance, our endurance, mental acuity, and injury. We need to decrease the risk of injury. We can do it with these products. Now, Olympians have been gravitating towards Shaklee because these products, one, work, and two, they're safe. And here we have 146 medals won in this example here. Since Tokyo, I think we're up to 153. And what's interesting about that is that if you take all these medals and you weigh them against all the other countries in the world that participate in the Olympics, we would rank 8th in the world in medals won. That's huge. That's the Shaklee difference. But more so than that is that these products are safe. This is why the Olympians select Shaklee. And Eli Bremer was a gold medalist pentathlete. He's been using Shaklee from the age of 14. And he had a good friend over in Beijing that was going to compete. She was a gold medalist contender. And this lady, that's when they started random testing. They knocked on her door and her trainer was number 4 in the world. And he gave her what he thought was the best products out there. And she tested negative and was banned from getting her gold. And Eli came to Shaklee and says, I don't ever want that to happen again. He wanted to create a pure performance team where these products were going to be made available. And with that, we have that now. And that's why we have so many Olympians using Shaklee. So with that, we're going to watch a quick video that sort of summarizes some of what I said here. So let's just take a look. Here we go.
Yes, it is.
This is the new logo. I love the leaf. It's really cool. Now, why would people choose Shaklee from other brands out there? Well, one, I know it's a safety. People want products that are good for their children, themselves, and their family, their grandparents, whatever. People want things that are science related, that are proven by science. People want things, and they don't even understand what beyond organic means. This means that it doesn't have the contaminants and junk and stuff in there, and that it actually works in the system without harming the system. And of course, being guaranteed, does this stuff work? And if I invest my money, you know, am I covered? Is it a win-win? And that's the key to the Shaklee difference. Very, very important part. It's part of the DNA of our company, going beyond organic and guaranteeing everything. Huge part of our culture. The fifth category is the business. Okay, Dr. Shaklee had the opportunity to sell the business through the traditional methods, spending 50 cents on the dollar advertising like all the other companies, of which we end up paying for. Or he could turn around and give it back to us, and he chose to do that. Word of mouth has always been the best advertiser of helping other people. But people gravitate from Shaklee because of that example, but also because they want to create a different source of income or an additional source of income. They want to be able to have the flexibility to work from wherever they want, on the beach or at their home in front of the fire or whatever, when it's cool like it's happening now. They want to gain more control over their life. Maybe the job is controlling them. I was tired of the driving back and forth to work, you know, an hour here, an hour and a half there. It was crazy. Help yourself and help other people, that's really amazing to be able to do that and still stay healthy doing it and growing in the community, becoming part of the community, promoting well-being, be able to give back. These are all very important things that I love about Shaklee. Now, what are the three biggest concerns? Now, people have talked about some of these issues. We see them here listed. I don't know what three biggest ones are for you. I remember when I look at this, I think of life stage. And when Lynn and I started out and we had a child, in the beginning, challenges of having economics and time, freedom in order to be able to enjoy maybe a dinner out or a theater. And fortunately, Lynn had a daughter that could watch her son and gave us that ability. But really, medical bills, job security, retirement, these are all noble things that people are looking for. And Shaklee has a solution to that. And I know one example is that if we could help people just save $300 or $400 a month, we would reduce the foreclosures by about 50%. So that's here. So there's a need out there for what we offer. And if you want to learn more about that, that's a good time to have a chat with Sharon about some of the things that are important to you here. Now, again, in today's economy, the traditional ways of earning through we want, to be reliable. They're becoming less reliable. I mean, the day of working 40 years and retiring are no longer. I mean, within 3 to 5 years, the company changes. I just had a young man work for AT&T 16 years. He was coming up for being vested, and they fired 183 of them that were right in that cusp, just so they didn't have to pay the retirement. So things like that happen. Corporate's going to work on the bottom line for their shareholders, not us. So it's important to have ways that we can earn with consistency and flexibility from our home without giving up while we're building something. And that's one of the wonderful things in Shaklee. Who wants to work 2 or 3 jobs? I certainly don't. And we have ability not only to be able to do this, but we can do it by helping through guiding and teaching and coaching, not through selling and convincing. I love that about Shaklee. And again, you can chat with Sharon about that. She'd be happy to share how we can specialize in this without selling and do it simply. Excuse me. Now, partnering with Shaklee has been a blessing for us. The one thing is controlling your hours, working how and when you want. As I mentioned, you can earn the ability to travel. We've had the blessing of being able to travel around the world, 70, 80 trips and that. We've had, I don't know, a couple dozen cars and that. And you can it's got a car program. You can contribute and help others. You can enjoy the flexible tax benefits. And I'll tell you right now, the tax benefits, if you're collecting any type of income where you're paying taxes, the tax advantages here can fundamentally pay for your starter nutrition programs and that. Very powerful, and even go bigger than that. But when I started at Shaklee, Dr. Shaklee made some statements. I had an opportunity to meet him. But one of the things he said is a better life for everyone and an opportunity for anyone. I didn't fully understand that, but when I told him that I thought Shaklee saved my father's life and that, put his arm around me, he said, son, it's not Shaklee, it's nature. And that's where I came to understand the value and what this means here, an opportunity to help anyone. What a gift that we have. Now, economics, these are 1099s numbers here based on averages. Here we have the average of 10,000 in the middle. This is somewhat of what a second job or third job might contribute. People can do this from the home. But the most important figure is the one on the left, the 4,364, as I mentioned, about that $300 to $400 a month of helping people. And that I had one guy that was a vice president of sales, and we talked about this from the business side. And after I showed him the business, he came back to me after we showed him some of these larger numbers. He said, if I just had about $400 to $800 a month, it changed my life. So we never know where people are coming from. We need to share these types of things. This executive coordinator, this master coordinator level, you can build incomes by helping other people get into the entry level. And this is where the residual passive income starts coming in. And these are 1099s, as I said. So this is not a fallacy. This is true. I've enjoyed this for 50 years. Now, here's an example of some ladies that started up a couple months ago. They added 300 here, 292, 226, into their household income without just simply sharing this little example we're doing tonight, maybe once a week, and they were able to build something. Here's a lady that wanted to work a little harder. She wanted a car, and in the car program, Shaklee has a way for you to build money into an account so you can have a downstroke if you want to get a new car without pulling out your capital out of your bank. So that's really cool. I think that's powerful. And of course, as I mentioned, travel and that, you can travel to luxury places, you and your spouse or partner, and you can enjoy an amazing lifestyle. Now, here's a young lady that was an expert in beauty and wellness. She's very successful, but she wanted to help people, and she helped herself. She learned about the products that proved a challenge, changed her life. And here she is, 14,000 she added into her income stream in addition to her profession. I mean, just by helping a few people. Here's a lady that a lot of people start out in their career paths with things that they love to do. And so they want to turn it into a way they can help more people or give away. But problem with today's world is sole proprietorship turns into a job. So their love turns into a job. And then it's all about keeping the lights on and paying the bills and working 24/7. Well, here's a young lady that didn't want to do that. She wanted to be able to be her chocolatier and give her goodies away to people. And here she built a Shaklee income through using the simple method. She got 63,000. She more than equaled what she was earning in her chocolatier. And her daughters love the products. They joined her into business. Now they're building their companies. I mean, this is family thing. And what's really cool about this is what you build, you can pass on generationally, which is really powerful. Now, Roger, of course, is committed to our business. In fact, what he did when he bought the company, he didn't put his name in the marquee. He put his 4-year-old son's name. He wanted to assure us that he's here for the next 5 decades and beyond. And he did that. So you're going to get a little feeling in a short video here about how he sums up his vision, his excitement for the company, how Shaklee fits in the future and people's lives. So here we go.
So many people face so much uncertainty right now. But that is precisely why what we are doing together matters. Today, there are 3 things that people need the most: health, income, and emotional support through a sense of community and connection. And that's exactly what Shaklee has stood for more than 7 decades. It's what we have together, and it's what you provide when you share Shaklee every day. In a world full of challenges, we offer solutions. In a place of inequality, we offer an equal opportunity to everyone. And in times of worry, we offer support and community. In times where the skies ahead seem fraught and stormy, we offer hope and optimism. Together, Shaklee family, we have already done amazing things, but the best is yet to come, because together we have the ability to thrive, and together we can invite everyone to join us on the path to living well. There is no better time to make an impact, so let's get started now.
All right. I want to thank you guys for supporting Sharon, for getting on the board here. It's really
Absolutely.
amazing that you did that. And I just want to finish up with a little review here, summary. We talked about benefits. You might have some benefits, whatever the 3 might be. On the left, you can see some of the wellness or health benefits. On the right, you can see some of the economic benefits. And again, it'd be a good time to talk with Sharon afterwards in a follow-up call to learn more about what's important to you. Now, if you want to support Sharon, there's 4 ways that are simple and easy to do this, okay? You can field test the products, use Test Ag Guarantee, become a customer, buy it at a discount. You can even go through a free tour with Sharon. She'll fill in and question all your answers, give you answers to all your questions. And okay, that's one way. The second way is if you see that this is something for you, Shaklee's got a program on half cost in order to get started on a distributorship. And you can use this simple method to help people join her in the business, become a partner. It's fun to partner with these, right, Sharon? That's why I love working with her. She's so up. It's powerful. You can always refer. Not everybody is engaged or interested in the business at a point right away or at all. And of course, but they love the products. They want to help Sharon and they'll refer people. If that works for you, that'd be amazing. And finally, the last thing would be to just be a friend. I mean, give her a shout now and then, see how she's doing, see what's new in Shackley, get in on her newsletter and stay current at least. You know, you never know. Everyone has their timing. And we hope that this is a blessing for you tonight, that it's benefited you in some way. So I'll leave you with that, Sharon. I'll turn it back over to you. If anybody has any questions, I'll hang. Otherwise, I'll close out and leave you chat with your friends there. So.
All righty. Well,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much, Marty. I appreciate it. Do any of you guys have a question for Marty before he jumps out?
No, I don't think I do.
We do not,
Okay,
All
but
righty.
thank you.
all right.
Marty, I
Well,
appreciate you.
I thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you.